Worshipful Master. Brother Gab, you are kneeling for the second time at the sacred altar of Masonry, to take upon yourself the solemn oath or obligation of a Fellowcraft. And I take pleasure, as master of this lodge, to say to you, as on a former occasion, there is nothing in this oath that will interfere with the duty that you owe to your God, your family, country, neighbor, or self. Are you willing to take it? Candidate. I am. Worshipful Master. Then, if you have no objections, you will say, I, and repeat your name after me. Here the Master gives 2 raps with his gavel, which is the signal for all the brethren to assemble around the altar. Oath. I, Peter Gab, of my own free will and accord, in the presence of Almighty God, and this worshipful lodge, erected to Him, and dedicated to the holy saints John, do hereby and hereon. Master presses candidate's hand with the gavel, most solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will always hail, and ever conceal, and never reveal any of the secret arts, parts, or points of the Fellowcraft degree to any person whomsoever, except it be to a true and lawful brother of this degree, or in a regularly constituted lodge of Fellowcrafts, nor unto him or them until, by strict trial, due examination, or awful information, I shall find him, or them, as lawfully entitled to the same as I am myself. I furthermore promise and swear that I will stand to, and abide by, all the laws, rules, and regulations of the Fellowcraft degree, as far as the same shall come to my knowledge. Further, I will acknowledge and obey all due signs and summons sent to me from a lodge of Fellowcrafts, or given me by brother of that degree, if within the length of my cable tow. Further, that I will aid and assist all poor, distressed, worthy Fellowcrafts, knowing them to be such, as far as their necessities may require, and my ability permit, without any injury to myself. Further, that I will not cheat, wrong, nor defraud a brother of this degree, knowingly, nor supplant him in any of his laudable undertakings. All this I most solemnly promise and swear with a firm and steadfast resolution to perform the same, without any hesitation, mental reservation, or self-evasion of mind whatever, binding myself under no less penalty than of having my breast torn open, my heart plucked out, and placed on the highest pinnacle of the temple, some say, my heart and vitals taken from thence, and thrown over my left shoulder, and carried into the valley of Jehoshaphat, etc., etc., there to be devoured by the vultures of the air, should I ever knowingly violate the Fellowcraft obligation. So help me God, and keep me steadfast in the due performance of the same. Worshipful Master. Brother Gab, you will detach your hand, and kiss the book on which your hand rests, which is the Holy Bible. Candidate kisses the book once, some lodges say twice. Worshipful Master. In your present condition, what do you most desire? The candidate, prompted by his conductor, answers, more light in Masonry. Worshipful Master. Brethren, you will stretch forth your hands, and assist me in bringing our brother to light. Here all the brethren place their hands in the form of the due guard of a Fellowcraft. Worshipful Master. Let the brother receive light. At this point the conductor unties the hoodwink, and lets it fall from the candidate's eyes. The Master then gives 1 rap on the altar with his gavel, when all the brethren but himself and the conductor, senior deacon, take their seats. The Master then says to the candidate, Worshipful Master. My brother, on being brought to light in this degree, you behold 1 point of the compass is elevated above the square, which is to signify that you have received light in Masonry by points. Then, stepping back a few feet from the altar, the Worshipful Master continues, Worshipful Master. Brother, you discover me approaching you from the east, under the due guard. Here he makes the due guard unsigned. Here he makes the sign of a Fellowcraft. And in token of the continuance of brotherly love and favor, I present you with my right hand, takes candidate by the right hand, and with it the pass, token of the pass, grip, and word of a Fellowcraft. As you are yet uninformed, your conductor will answer for you. The Worshipful Master now takes the candidate by the entered apprentice's grip, and says to his conductor, the senior deacon, while holding the candidate by this grip, Worshipful Master. Here I left you. And here I find you. Will you be off or from? Senior deacon for candidate. From. Worshipful Master. From what, and to what? Senior deacon. From the real grip of an entered apprentice to the pass grip of a Fellowcraft. Worshipful Master. Pass. Here the candidate is requested to pass his thumb from the first joint to the space between the first and second joints, which is the pass grip of a Fellowcraft. Worshipful Master. What is that? Conductor. The pass grip of a Fellowcraft? Worshipful Master. Has it a name? Conductor. It has. Worshipful Master. Will you give it me? Conductor. Shibboleth. Some letter it, SHIB. Bow. Leth. Worshipful Master. Will you be off or from? Conductor. From. Worshipful Master. From what, and to what? Conductor. From the past grip of a Fellowcraft to the real grip of the same. Worshipful Master. Moving his thumb to the second joint. Pass. Worshipful Master. What is that? Conductor. The real grip of a Fellowcraft. Worshipful Master. Has it a name? Conductor. It has. Worshipful Master. Will you give it me? Conductor. I did not so receive it, neither can I so impart it. Worshipful Master. How will you dispose of it? Conductor. I will letter it or halve it. Worshipful Master. Halve it, and begin. Conductor. No, you begin. Worshipful Master. Begin you. Conductor. J. Some say Jashin, without halving. Worshipful Master. Chin. Conductor. Jashin. Some say it this way, viz. Senior Deacon. Chin. Worshipful Master. J. Senior Deacon. Jashin. The first is considered to be the most correct. Worshipful Master. The pass is right. At the words, is right, lifting candidate from his knees at the altar. You will arise, and salute the junior and senior wardens as a Fellowcraft. The conductor having previously removed the cable tow from the candidate's arm, he conducts him to the junior warden's station in the south, halts before that officer, and gives 2 raps on the floor with his rod, or stamps twice on the floor with his foot, which is responded to by the junior warden, in like manner, with his gavel. Junior warden. Who comes here? Conductor. Brother Gab, an obligated Fellowcraft. Junior warden. How shall I know him to be such? Conductor. By signs and tokens. Junior warden. Give me a sign. Conductor gives the due regard of a Fellowcraft, and makes the candidate or candidates. If there are more than one, do likewise. Junior warden. What is that? Conductor. Due regard of a Fellowcraft Mason. Junior warden. Has it an allusion? Conductor. It has. It alludes to the manner in which my hands were placed when I took upon myself the solemn oath of a Fellowcraft. Junior warden. Have you any other sign? Conductor. I have. At the same time he makes the sign of a Fellowcraft, and the candidate does the same. Junior warden. What is that? Conductor. The sign of a Fellowcraft Mason. Junior warden. Has it an allusion? Conductor. It has. It alludes to the penalty of my obligation. Junior warden. Have you any further signs? Conductor. I have not. But I have a pass, token of the pass, grip, and word. Junior warden. Advance, and give me the pass. Warden takes hold of candidate by the right hand, and places his thumb on the first joint of candidate's hand, and says to the conductor, Junior warden. Will you be off or from? Conductor. From. Junior warden. From what, and to what? Conductor. From the real grip of an emptied apprentice to the pass grip of a Fellowcraft. Junior warden. Pass. They move their thumbs, as already described. Junior warden. What is that? Conductor. The pass grip of a Fellowcraft. Junior warden. Has it a name? Conductor. It has. Junior warden. Will you give it me? Conductor. Shibboleth. Junior warden. Will you be off or from? Conductor. From. Junior warden. From what, and to what? Conductor. From the pass grip of a Fellowcraft, to the real grip of the same. Junior warden. Pass. They pass the thumbs, as before described. Junior warden. What is that? Conductor. The real grip of a Fellowcraft. Junior warden. Has it a name? Conductor. It has. Junior warden. Will you give it me? Conductor. I did not so receive it, neither can I so impart it. Junior Warden. How will you dispose of it? Conductor. I will letter it or halve it. Junior Warden. Halve it, and begin. Conductor. No, you begin. Junior Warden. Begin you. Conductor. Junior Warden. Chin. Conductor. Jashin. Junior Warden. The pass is right, and the word is right. I will suffer you to pass on to the Senior Warden's station in the west. The conductor and candidate now pass on to the Senior Warden in the west, where they pass precisely the same examination as that just described with the Junior Warden. The Senior Warden then permits them to pass on to the Worshipful Master in the east for his examination. As they, the candidate and conductor, approach the Master's station in the east, and when nearly there, he, the Master, says, Worshipful Master, Brother Senior Deacon, you will reconduct the candidate to the Senior Warden in the west, with my orders that you teach him how to wear his apron as a Fellowcraft. It should be here remarked that when a candidate is prepared in the anteroom for the Fellowcraft's degree, he has an apron tied on him, with the flap up, as worn by an entered apprentice, which he wears until he arrives at this part of the ceremony. The deacon now conducts the candidate to the Senior Warden's station. This officer leaves his seat, and, approaching candidate, turns the flap of his apron down, at the same time saying, Brother, at the building of King Solomon's temple, the Fellowcrafts wore their aprons with the flap turned down and the corner turned up, and that you will wear yours, until further advanced. Tucks a corner under the string. The conductor now reconducts the candidate to the Worshipful Master in the east. Worshipful Master, I now present you with the working tools of a Fellowcraft Mason, which are the plumb, square, and level. The Master here shows the candidate these tools, which are generally made of rosewood or ebony, and kept for these occasions on the Master's desk. Worshipful Master, the plumb is an instrument made use of by operative masons to raise perpendiculars. The square, to square their work, and the level, to prove horizontals, but we, as free and accepted masons, are taught to make use of them for more noble and glorious purposes. The plumb admonishes us to walk uprightly in our several stations before God and man, squaring our actions by the scale of virtue, and ever remembering that we are travelling upon the level of time, to that undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveller returns. After reading this, the Master says, Worshipful Master, Brother Senior Deacon, it is my orders that you reconduct this candidate to the place from whence he came, anteroom, and invest him of what he has been divested of, preparatory to making an ascent through a porch, by a flight of winding stairs, consisting of 3, 5, and 7 steps, to a place representing the middle chamber of King Solomon's temple, there to receive instructions relative to the wages and duels of a Fellowcraft.